You were asking me about working on stuff.
Working on,
that was funny.
So yeah, we just finished the new draft of a screenplay I'm really excited about that we've been trying to figure out how to make work for a while. Plot-wise, I would describe it as like Misery, but with an extraterrestrial.
Love it.
And
Have you seen Misery?
No.
You need to watch that shit.
Yeah, it's sci-fi with some with some hardcore gore. We're very excited about it. It's I'd pitch it, but it's kind of like we're trying to get it made.
Yeah.
So not like anybody's gonna watch it, but
We will.
Oh, stop it.
Hey,
Stop that.
I hope here's the deal. I want to go back to making a film that like I really want to see, and so does my writing producing partner. Like the last movie we both really enjoyed making, and it was just like a very safe.
Talking about Shepard here?
Yeah, Shepard. It was very safe, like kind of like, reverse buddy sort of, pseudo serial killer, thriller, but not, it just wasn't hardcore. And we're like, let's do something different. And I'm very excited about this because this is going to be nasty, gory, like, we're going to get into some fun. We get into some really fun territory that's like just not something you normally get to do.
Wow.
And I'm hoping that, but I also want it to be fun, like for fans, like of horror, like myself. And I'm really excited about it. So we're really close. And so I'm hoping that we get to make this next year. Realistically, that would be great. But yeah, unfortunately, it's like, that's kind of it.
This stuff just takes time, and you can't talk too much about it. I can only imagine because.
Yeah.
Are you writing the script? Or are you guys both collaborating and writing like dialogue and script, or is it like collaborative with the people you submit it to?
No, it's totally collaborative. Like, so it's the same writer who wrote Shepard, but what we did is we started kind of like coming up with, just coming up with like a concept, like what is this about? And you start very small, and we started off with like, okay, we definitely want to do this kind of like this sci-fi contained sort of, in a location, and how did we want to like do that? And then we start kind of figuring out, well, who's involved, right? And then we get an outline, and that outline is sort of like where we're going to work from. And then we get a draft. And the first draft is usually, it's usually very bad because you're just trying to get the thing on paper, right? And then you start kind of honing in.
Very bad.
Yeah, I mean, it is. And we know it. And like, you can't let that bother you. Because that gives you the momentum to like,
to figure out why it's bad.
Yeah, to nibble on it and like, kind of pull the pieces and rearrange the sort of story bits that you have to. And then you start hitting your stride, and you kind of get really excited about like where it's going. And then it starts to kind of tell you what it is and what it isn't, because the ideas you had earlier, now they don't work because you've eliminated some of the things that just don't. And so you get into like 5 drafts, which we're like, oh, now. And we're just locking up the dialogue. So we're just tuning it. But what our process is sort of just like work together to create the story. And then he'll write it, send me the draft. I give him like my thoughts. Like, what if we did this? What if we did that? It's never authoritative. It's always like, it's collaborative. Like, what do you think if we tried this? Or what if we tried that? This might work better here. Let's give it a shot. And so we do that back and forth. So it's totally collaborative. This is my favorite way to work.
Yeah.
You ever pull the like, I'm the director?
Never. You want to know why that? Because that
doesn't work.
Well, no, it doesn't. It doesn't work. And also, like who wants to work with somebody that no, but like I think people sometimes think like, well, why is there not just one voice? Well, ultimately there is when you're out there making decisions, on set.
Right.
But right now, like we're a team trying, and we always will be. But like, movies are fucking hard to make. Oh, even fucking shit ones. Imagine. Like, you want to make a shit movie? Still hard. You make a great one. I don't know. I've never done it. But like, I imagine, I imagine it's still.
I don't know. I would imagine.
I'll let you know if this one turns out.
Like, I imagine it's still very difficult.
Okay, look, we're gonna submit The Mummy and Black Hawk Down 2.
I got cinematic mode on this thing, guys.
I got one too. We could fucking dually, bro.
Yeah.
I'll just get like a little wagon and push you
I've
around.
heard the term multicam, so that's more than one.
This is
like,
literally
tape 'em
your
together,
setup.
like-
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You could do like on one side. Yeah, we could do like a GoPro type deal, dude. Like 360 the whole movie.
Not
you got
with
a
the
fucking
gimbal,
goggles
though.
on and
I
you're
don't
like
want a gimbal.
disoriented.
I want it to be a little shaky.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we could get Michael J. Fox to come in and shoot for us.
Wow.
Tough crowd. Shit. I thought that was pretty good.
Well, I mean,
no.
you went in on him for like an hour last episode.
No, I
Like,
didn't. It was like 3 minutes and I cut it. No, I
whose-
didn't cut it.
Wait, whose plane was he on?
Mine.
His.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
This guy's got something against Michael J.
no.
Fox.
Have you seen the recent footage of him?
Yes.
With
It was
him
so-
and
Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It made me so fucking sad.
It was
Did it
so
make you feel
heart-
bad for everything you said?
Absolutely not. It's not my fault
heartbreaking.
he has a fucking disease.
So
It's not his either. It's nobody's fault.
It's so heartbreaking.
God's fault.
I mean,
Yeah, it was. You know, I genuinely loved. I know I'm not the only person. I love Back to the Future movies. Those
They're
were
awesome.
those were like my nana, my stepdad's mom. They were the only good movies she had on VHS when I go over to her house. And I would is the only thing I'd watch was 1 and 2. She didn't have 3, but then I eventually got 3 in a box set. But I would watch those all the time, and I fucking love
Yeah.
those goddamn movies. And it's
me
yeah,
too.
it's
My
sad.
son loves them as well. It's like his favorite trilogy, and I'm like, I don't get the hate for 2 and 3.
No,
No, they're all good.
I mean, 3 isn't like amazing, but it's like it's still them. They're
Yeah.
still doing it.
It's still,
Still
you're in
good.
the Wild
You still
West,
get-
and you have trains that,
Still get Biff.
yeah, like you get all of it. That's what I love is that there's always an incantation of a version of that of characters you know.
You owe me $5 for the whiskey. It's $35 for the horse.
So good,
So
dude.
good, dude. And then he fucking steps on the fucking thing, and the spit thing gets on his head. It's just
But
great.
the duel with the plate underneath him.
Yes.
and it's,
Yeah.
it's like
Yep.
it's so good, dude. Come
And then when he
on.
makes the ice, he has the ice machine, and it's like 1 cube of ice, and it's like this whole thing. He goes, "Look at that."
It's so good. I love it. I love
Okay,
it. Back to the Future
another
movies.
filmmaking question for you.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
What is film? What's harder to overcome, bad acting or bad writing?
So this is a good question because I could answer it with they go hand in hand. Like one's dependent on the other. Like one could be a badly written scene could influence an actor to perform poorly.
Even if it's a good actor.
Even if it's a good actor because they're trying to perform the fucking shit scene you wrote. So what's harder? Bad acting.
Look at that.
And here-
I love that you just give a fucking answer.
Yeah.
You're a straight shooter, dude.
Well, here's why I think that is because there's a caliber in every actor, and there are ranges in every actor, and not every actor is right for every part. That's why you cast movies, specifically, right? Sometimes you.
Are you part of the casting process? I'm assuming, right?
Absolutely,
That's like your.
because my
yeah.
movies are so small that like it doesn't make sense not to be.
Okay.
I mean, there are some versions of big budget where like the director might not even care and the casting director is totally in charge, but I think that's pretty rare. You want to know who you're working with.
Mm-hmm.
So if you cast improperly, then you are fucked because you can rewrite on the day. You can rewrite
You
a
can't
scene.
recast.
You can't.
Well, I guess you can,
It's
but-
just a pain in the ass
and
because
it's a lot of money, right?
And you better find out that actor isn't right for the part with as minimal shooting as possible.
Right.
Sometimes you don't find that out till later, right? And that becomes problematic for any production. But
Have you encountered that?
I want to say that I'm proud of my casting choices. But yes, I have encountered moments of that, and how you work through it is just with better direction, right? But sometimes that doesn't even work. Like it does. Back to the Future is a perfect example.
I was just gonna say, didn't they?
That was not Michael J. Fox originally cast. They shot.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, shot like more than half of that film with a different actor.
Wow.
And you can still see, in fact, a lot of the shots in the movie, which are POV of Marty, were originally shot as the other actor's POV, and they just reused them.
I'm pretty sure it was the kid that played the dude in Mask. Wasn't it him?
I forget his name. It's like Eric something.
Yeah. The only reason I know this is because Family Guy referenced it once, and I've watched the episode a million times. Like Rocky Dennis from Mask. I'm pretty sure it was that actor that was originally going to be that was filmed in there, and then he was like, I think the director was like, no, this
Yeah.
isn't happening, and he was.
It wasn't jiving. Like it was not what they needed from him was like a kind of a comedic element. And I guess it just wasn't working. And that's what I mean. Like you can be deep in a film and you just hit a scene where it's like the actor can't do that. Right. So then you have to rewrite the scene around the strength.
Really, you'd get to a scene that's been written and like ready to go, and you'd be like, damn, they just can't do this.
Yeah. So you
Like what would be an example of like a difficult scene for an actor?
well, let's like take a scene where it's like,
Well, he whips his dick out and like.
Well,
he's got that nailed
No,
down.
yeah, he picked that one great.
He
Yeah.
picks that one great.
those are all my my short films have a lot of that in it. Realistically, I think if you took a movie or you took a scene with an actor, let's say an actor who's been primarily in like horror films, right? Like, and I don't mean that disparagingly, but I mean like, let's say they're an actor that's been in a lot of stock and slash. They've been in a lot of costume. And they're great, like a great physical actor. And maybe even they have like, they're great at like voice portrayal, or they can sound menacing and they're scary. They're very like physical actor. And say you cast them for their name, maybe to get more money for your film, and you want to put them front and center and they're the lead and they've got this one scene where they've got to cry because their kid was hit by a car in front of them, or they got to be emotional. Okay.
Acting's fucking hard.
And that's where you find out if they have range or not.
At that point, what you do is you go through the scene. Maybe they're having a hard time and you go, all right, fuck it. A bee flew into his mouth. Now he can't talk. And we just show him go, because he's a very good physical actor. And that's scene. Cut. Like you rewrite it to make it work for the actor.
Wow.
Because you realize, and so many directors will look at a scene when it isn't working. And I think that directing is problem solving. Like, right. Like it's not even about whether you got it right out of the gate. It's about whether you can get it complete, finished. There's the way you want to shoot it. There's the way you shoot it, and there's the way you edit it, right? And it's just like, it's always been said, you make a movie 3 times: the movie you write, the movie you shoot, the movie you edit. I also look at shooting the same way. Like I go in thinking I'm going to shoot this scene this way, and then I always have a plan B, and then I'm not afraid of plan C, because that does happen sometimes. But yeah, I would say acting is absolutely
When you're casting, do you pick like a certain scene that has the range sort of like all in a few minutes, so that way you can see like, okay, this person can do this, they can hit all the beats.
Yeah, usually we write a
try and
scene.
make your best guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Usually we'll write a scene for the audition.
Okay, not
Yeah,
a scene
from
from
the
the
movie.
movie specifically.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I mean, and sometimes we've even used like the same scene like for 2 different characters.
Okay.
So that way you're like, I know
who should and who shouldn't be this
exactly,
character.
and you
yeah.
can flip flop in the casting process, because who doesn't want to get a call that's saying, okay, you got cast for the supporting character, and then you think about it and you're like, you know what, we really should make this person so you flip flop it, and they're ecstatic because they want to bring this movie to life or whatever. Yeah. But there's sometimes that works out, so you really go with like the range and the strength, so you kind of have something that they can sink their teeth into in the audition. And then sometimes you already know, like, I know this person is great, and I know that they'll be awesome for the film. Like my first film had Michael Rooker in it. Michael Rooker is, Henry, Portrait of Serial Killer, Merle on Walking Dead. He's in Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, he's a very huge actor, but he got his start, in horror. Like he's been in a ton of movies, and we had him as a fucking.
Is this the guy that hangs dong?
No.
That's different. That's different.
What other movies are he in?
They're on a different site.
Man of Steel.
They're on a
that
different site.
one. A different site.
Yeah.
You're gonna need the Tor browser for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that, casting him, who is primarily a great character actor, to play a kind of a sketchy, gross Oregonian gas station attendant in Rogue River was
I didn't
like,
even realize that was him, actually.
well, that's actually not in the movie though, unless you saw a different cut.
I don't know. I got whatever one Joyce
I know.
gave
I
me.
was
It might have been if Joyce.
Because
gave
I
it
was
to
like,
you.
I don't remember seeing Merle.
Well, so Bill Moseley is who's in that movie.
Got it.
So
Okay.
Michael Rooker was actually I shot a scene. He came in for the day. We shot a scene with him as the gas station attendant, right? And it was like, I liked the scene. I thought it was great. But like the producers are like, we're not using him. Like he's not,
Yeah.
he could have been anybody. And it was like, that's 100% true. Because it didn't need to be Michael Rooker. That was just sort of like a wink, like, hey guys, it's Michael Rooker. Well, I fought to keep it in, like badly, because it was really cool. It's actually my most.
Yeah. So who makes that decision? You said the producers.
Yeah, and at the time, I was directing the film from a story I wrote and a script I helped develop, and then producers are the money guys, right? So
Right.
like, if there's something they don't like, then pick your battles. Die on the hill that you think is important. I'm not going to die on a 1 minute, cameo,
Right.
But I tried to, and because I thought it was a great like scene, and I thought it would be fun for fans who were Michael Rooker fans,
Right.
and also thought it set the tone, and it was a really cool scene. Anyways, long story short, they didn't like it. It got cut.
And basically, they don't have to pay him if it doesn't make the cut.
No, they still had to pay him.
Okay.
Yeah,
I guess what was the point of cutting it?
Well, the point of cutting
Didn't
it
work
was
for the movie as well.
yeah, it's just to
Oh, it was the scene itself.
Yeah, the
Got
scene
it. I
itself.
thought it was like it could have been anybody. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Which is really fucked up because it was actually one of my more expensive scenes. I actually had it was a crane shot that craned into a car pulling in and like went around the car. It was just like an expensive setup is what you would call it because it had a lot of moving pieces. And it's like the scene that isn't in the film. And it's also we got rid of a completely big name.
Yeah.
And it's just that happens sometimes.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was just going to ask about the opening scene of that. Was that from a helicopter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got a helicopter to shoot that?
Yeah, well, drones were not around. Well, they weren't a thing, which is weird to think.
Black Hawk Down 3 tie-in here. After that scene, you could just fucking fly off, go pick up Brendan Fraser in his fat tomb,
Yeah,
and go.
yeah. Rogue River just keeps on going to that movie. But yeah,
Rogue River turns into Sahara Desert. I mean, it's
absolutely, dude.
It's a long river, all right?
that movie is weird because it's a straight up horror movie. It's got some
really big cross necklaces.
like some really big like
Way too big.
dude. The scene where they pour the boiling water in the chick's
dude,
mouth.
that
was
is-
like that stands out to me. That's like the one scene where I'm like, I'm out, dude.
So-
But
No
that's one of my favorite scenes in a horror movie.
You never see it.
because it's so rare.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. We were trying to have fun with that.
that was cool.
What's a scene that comes to mind that's either like the most difficult or that you're the most proud of or like both that came to light that was like, holy shit, that worked out. That was so cool.
Well, that's a really good question. Like I like that question.
Because it's probably not a scene that we as viewers probably think, but
Yeah.
like you said, that shot that got cut. I mean, I was just thinking like, oh yeah, that's probably a lot of work that just was like, don't like it. You're like,
Yeah.
sure, I spent 8 hours getting that shot, but it's fine.
Yeah, there's actually, I mean, recently there's a lot of stuff I'm proud of. I really am. I self-deprecate because I don't take it seriously. I feel like I'm very lucky to have been able to do what I love, and even though it's not full time. It's still got to do it. So, it's like kind of, I'm like I joke about it because I feel lucky, right? But my most favorite thing, or the thing that came together, the scene that came together that I was so happy about, was actually in Shepherd, and it's a pretty mundane scene, but it builds some characters, and it's what you would call a oneer in a grocery store, in like a supermarket, and the camera doesn't cut, and it follows the kids into the store and hovers around, and you have all this very specific blocking, and people have to be in specific spots and be aware of where the camera is, and it's all done in one take.
Yeah.
And
Is that how that's how the whole movie of Dunkirk is shot, right? Or not Dunkirk, 1917.
very similar to that, and it's also like Birdman. Where
1970 was shot as a
1917,
1917?
Yeah.
Shot as like a one shot.
like a one continuous shot.
Yeah, the whole
Right.
How did they?
It's pretty cool.
I mean, it wasn't obviously.
They-
No,
they-
it was.
They hide.
They shot the whole movie in an hour and 40 minutes.
They hide cuts for sure. But it doesn't. There's no like going to be a cutaway or different lens size. Either the camera's going to move in or move around, and so you don't have cuts. You don't have these like
Like a hard cut,
or editorial decisions where, like, you know, if we're having this conversation, right, there'd probably be 3 cameras like this, but also you'd have a tight shot probably, and then maybe a medium shot on
All on iPhones too. I mean,
Yeah, like
cinematic mode.
yeah. So you could arrange and set the pace, and also set by using your shot types, sort of set the tone of the conversation. Like tighter, you know, we're more intent listening. Could be my perspective on you, you know. It also depends where the camera is. But like in a oneer, the camera is just moving around the scene. It was very hard to do, but if you do it right, you're saving so many setups, because each scene could have multiple setups. I like to shoot like a mini master, like basically shoot the scene from one wide shot, and then I go in and I shoot individual pieces of the scene, and sometimes from multiple angles, and then I get what I call like my enhancements, like might be a close up on a hand grabbing something that's integral to what's supposed to happen in the scene, something the audience is supposed to see. And so you get all those pieces. But in a oneer, the whole thing is a master shot. Master shot meaning it covers the scene end to end.
Right.
And they're very difficult to do, but I was very proud of that. And it's early in the movie, but it's in that convenience store where he fights the clerk comes at him with a bat, and then you meet Shepard, and Shepard, punches the guy and actually pulls the camera, equipment, the DVR equipment from under the table there. I was really proud of that scene.
How hard is it to keep the continuity with shots and different times of day and stuff like that?
I mean, it's not that hard as long as you're dedicated to, if your color is thematic, then production designer is definitely making sure that they take a lot of reference pictures, right? Like, so if we know ahead of time that the movie is going to start off, so I'll explain it 2 ways. There's the character journey, which is thematically colored, which means the character could start off in a bluish kind of world where things are okay. And then as the character descends into madness, or the arc of his journey changes or whatever, you might start seeing more yellow. It might get grittier, and then the movie might end up in red, where everything's like angsty and mad and
really,
and it's very subtle, but it happens. And there's production designers that are putting all of this stuff in the background and painting on walls, what the costume designers have them wearing, which will match with the background. So everything because if you think about film, right? Film it's not shooting movement. It's shooting a picture that is being ran through a projector 24 frames per second. You're not shooting movement, you're shooting 24 individual pictures. Mm-hmm. So you have to treat it like a photo. Like, you have to have a story in the art direction, a story in the production design. And a lot of that's subtle. And if you do it really well, you don't notice it, which is what a lot of people go, oh, really? Weird. I didn't really notice that. Now, if you're talking about like sunsets and stuff, that's pretty simple, because you're really just shooting at the same time for continuity. So you have a lot of like sundials or sun charts that DPs use, and you won't start shooting until it's the exact same sun. A lot of that stuff is we go out and we scope it ahead of time, and we make sure that we're shooting in a window that nothing's going to change seasonally, or rain obviously fucks with things. And
I was gonna say, if you get overcast, that's gonna fuck with some stuff.
Rogue River, we reshot a scene because we had shot a scene outside, and then there's another part of that scene, and clouds came in, and now it was like
dark.
You could not color balance a soft gray look because we didn't have filters. We didn't set up for that. But it was like in an area in Oregon where the storms just fucking fly in, and we didn't see, it wasn't on the radar. So you pay attention to all of that stuff. You really do. And then your color correction becomes very minute. And plus the color correction tools today, these are wizards. I mean, they can take the sky from another scene from somewhere else and map that color to a completely new filter and drop it over the image, and you fucking wouldn't have known that it was taken from somewhere else.
What is the industry standard for editing films?
Like, as far as
like software.
What editing system?
Yes.
Software. For years it was Final Cut Pro. and Avid.
Really?
Avid and Final Cut Pro were two of the heavyweights.
Okay.
Now I think it's Avid, and you've got a lot of like Premiere coming into play with all the cloud stuff. My best friend is a film editor, and he's an Avid guy, and he actually just cut the Obi-Wan show on Disney Plus.
Whoa.
And it was, I guess, nice for him because he was like, they use an Avid.
Yeah.
So he's like, that's his thing, is
Those
choice.
the Avid, because when I was at school we used Pro Tools. Pro
Yeah.
Tools is Avid.
Yeah, same company.
The Pro Tools dudes are like fucking Pro Tools till I'm dead.
Well, they're geeks.
They're exactly. And I didn't mind Pro Tools until it was like update, you got to get Pro Tools 10, Pro Tools 10 Live, Pro Tools 10, you got to, and then like it was just too complicated. So now obviously I used Logic, which is Apple, and I have Final Cut Pro, but
Yeah.
I don't use Final Cut Pro more than just editing the podcast. And I don't do, spoiler alert, I don't do any color correction on this podcast at all because that's not what this is for.
Right.
This is for audio.
Yeah, I know, and it makes sense. Like,
What am I doing wrong here? I know I'm breaking some sort of like 90-degree line here that you're supposed to stay behind.
Yeah, he's over there like, oh my
I know people are gonna
God.
be if anybody watches this, they're gonna be fucking throwing up with all the different perspectives. But I said, fuck it, right?
Yeah.
If I can afford it all, I'm like, hey.
technically it's the 180 rule, but I'll let it slide.
What? Yeah, I don't know my.
But it's
I don't know my 180s from my 90s.
but it's okay because like there is a lot of importance that is fucking forgotten about when it comes to audio and films. Like that, and what I was just kind of getting at is like, you're talking about like the cinematography, and this is this side rant. I will sit through a movie that has mediocre cinematography with not great color correction, or even shot on fucking video, right?
Okay,
If the audio's-
back
yeah.
up. What do you mean bad cinematography, and what do you mean shot on video?
I mean, bad cinematography is like, it's just there's no thought behind the framing. There's it could be shaky, it could be uneven. The frames don't make sense. It's like it's
This is all going over my head.
No,
Are
it's-
you clocking any
I'm
of
getting
this?
a little bit of it.
Think of like
but
a home
I'm
video.
more close to where you're
just
at.
think of a home video. Like someone doesn't realize what a close up is.
Oh, Bob Saget. Okay.
Okay, so, yeah, right. You really, yeah,
Deep cut.
yeah.
Not really, but
So I can sit through that, but I can't sit through bad audio. It takes me fucking. I mean, I can't do it, and it's so important that you have mixed audio and that you capture audio like on set. That'll fuck your movie up.
Did you hate Batman?
Which Batman?
The new one. Because the whole movie he just fucking whispers.
Well, that was they shot a lot of it like that.
Yeah, I know, but like, can we bump it up a little bit? I had to use subtitles, and then all of a sudden he starts fucking beating people up, and I'm like, oh my God, it's too loud.
Yeah.
are you a subtitles guy, or are you?
No,
pure-
that seems to be a younger generation thing.
I like it when I need it. Otherwise, get out of here.
We've now like we can't watch anything without subtitles. There's sometimes where I'm like, hey, can we turn it off? And she's like, I kind of like it, and I find it distracting. But other times, I think it was Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Couldn't understand what those blokes was saying.
I had no
because
problem with
they're-
Game of Thrones.
Really?
Yeah, maybe I'm just
Fuck, man.
more elite than you.
I
but-
think maybe if I turned it off, because what the problem is when you're watching the subtitles, you're not watching their mouths. But when you turn it off, you're watching their mouths, and you can kind of piece together what they're saying. I was just getting it was too much. It was too much for me to try and handle. But now, like, I mean, we've all done it. We've all watched shows where it's like I can't hear them. Also, the speakers I have suck. Let's be the
So do mine. I don't. Yeah, no
but you-
sound bar, nothing.
You don't have a sound bar?
Nope, straight out of the back of the
Dude,
TV.
ours, it's like as soon as like a dramatic scene comes in, it's like
Yeah.
in the back of the TV, and I'm like, this fucking like for the like whenever it happens, I imagine somebody mixing in that rattling noise, and obviously I know it's my TV, but I'm like, man, if somebody who made this film could see this and hear this, they would be like, what in the fuck? Because it ruins it. It's loud as fuck.
Yeah.
It's like plastic, like.
Sometimes I'll just Bluetooth my AirPods to the TV.
Yes,
I
sometimes I'll do
find
that too.
myself doing that more and more. I have a pair of the AirPod Max, which sound fucking amazing.
They look.
You like them?
with the
I also see. Is that an Apple Watch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the new giant one?
that's Ultra. Yeah,
You like it?
Nice.
love
Yeah, it looks like a fucking so big, looks like a DDR.
I love it. especially if you're someone like me who's like when things are small, you can't quite see them.
Yeah, can't figure it out.
Yeah, and I love the size of it. It's great, and plus it's still an Apple Watch, so it's
Right.
like my world, my ecosystem doesn't have to change.
And you're worried about nukes. Fucking peasant, dude.
Dude, I know.
Get off your fucking Apple Watch, dude.
I know.
You could probably call in a nuke with that thing.
I mean,
Putin,
if I can
send
do
it.
if I can do it, so can Putin.
Yeah.
What was I saying?
I don't know. You were talking. Oh, and then you were saying bad cinematography, and they were like there were no thoughts with the frames, and then I said,
He was saying that he could deal with all that, but he not. With
oh,
the audio.
not deal with bad audio.
Oh, so I was gonna say that I think that like modern TVs today, you know, like sound bars are cool, and I don't personally have a sound bar, but I would like one at some point, just because they've now sort of mastered the faux like 3D, you know, I want to call it's Dolby Atmos, like it's virtual, right? From a sound bar, and it sounds very, very good, but I find myself listening to movies with like the AirPods because they support Dolby Atmos, and they sound fucking great. Even the new AirPod Pros 2, those sound incredible, like with movies.
I just have the AirPod Pros.
I think that's the one I have too, but it has like the surround thing, which is a trip, by the way.
Spatial audio.
Yeah.
I don't like it at all. Well, I like the fixed. I like the fixed, but not when you move and it turns as you go.
You don't like that?
No. That's stupid.
Well, I'm curious, like, because it's a love-hate thing. Like, people,
I don't mind it.
I guess why would I want to be watching a movie and then like turn over here to look at? I guess why am I turning my head? But it just feels weird. Or like if I don't know, what's the point? If I turn my head and then all of a sudden now it's like over here and now it's over here.
Well, because the mix goes with you. So the way that the film is mixed, which is like if your audio setup is channelized in a specific configuration, right? If you move your head, you're now not synced with the mix. If you have spatial audio, the mix goes where your head goes.
I guess maybe I'm not getting the part of the mix. All I'm getting is like audio directly to me, and now I turn this way and now there's no audio here. It's not like there's less and I'm getting this immersive thing. It's just like, nope, you're looking away, so now you don't get any over here. That's how I feel, and I'm like, I don't like that.
Oh, weird. Okay. I don't see that's not
maybe that's just the AirPods that we have. They're not
Maybe.
Because I mean
But it doesn't bother me.
not the like I can call in a nuke.
well, you have to set up spatial
things.
audio though. Like
Yeah.
and the trick is though you have to configure it. And if you don't configure it properly, it's not going to work. So I mean,
Maybe that's what you're doing. Right?
you might not have yours configured because it actually is. You shouldn't be like lack of audio.
It should always be uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes like they won't connect, so you gotta like reset them and redo the whole thing, and then it'll default to spatial audio when I'm like watching a YouTube video or something, and then I'll like turn down to get a water, and it's like over, and I'm like, okay, I'm just trying to I'm itching my ankle or whatever. Like I don't need.
That's a bummer, especially because like you're a sound guy.
I'm a freak about it.
Yeah, and it's like I'm surprised that you don't like it, but that's I've also learned that like everybody has their thing with
shtick.
their audio.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't work. But I think if you had it, well, again, you might just not like how it's presented.
Yeah, maybe I'm just saying it wrong, and you guys are having it the same way I am, and I just hate it. Maybe I just don't like it.
Yeah.
But I also find like I've never liked loud bass in anything. Loud bass in songs. I've had a problem with that. When if I'm like mixing a song, I tend to bring the bass down. It's really hard for me to bring myself to like have lots of bass. I just don't like that. I hate lots of bass. Maybe I don't like it. Listening to like a song in the car and
You hear
it's like
Yeah, bass can chew up like all the layers, like, especially in like
it's a little overwhelming.
film mixing too. Like when you have too much bass from like an explosion or some sort of like artifact that is supposed to be like in the scene that you've added, and like you're supposed to add like either repercussion or something, or even like if you're doing a score, right? And the bass just starts to kind of chew into the sound effects.
Make it muddy, make it real muddy.
It's kind of annoying, I mean, and it tends to like I've never watched until recently Shepard in a Dolby Atmos mix. It's like when it's a fun fact, I guess. When we mixed the film, we actually sent that off to a sound mixer, like in I forget where it was. It was Southern California. It was somewhere in LA, and it was done remotely, basically. The only time we flew down is when Greg Proops had to come in and actually do some new lines for the opening, the counselor scene. And most of that was done, in a little studio that we were never there. It's like I wasn't there for the sound mix, but I would get sound mixes daily. Well, I never got the Atmos sound mix because I didn't have any Atmos gear, or Atmos, whatever it is. And when I listened to it, probably about 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, on the Atmos track, it was like on Prime. It sounded fucking awesome.
That's good.
It was kind of like hearing your movie for the first time, and that's how I think rad sound can be. Mm-hmm. But it's so much more personal when it's right here and not going everywhere.
Yeah,
Right.
It's just this feels, maybe it's our generation. This feels natural to have it be in my ear.
Yeah,
but I also love theaters.
Right.
Which is sort of like that statement.
Can I Bluetooth to the theater? Like,
yeah. Did you guys go see a movie recently, or did that?
we went and saw Crimes of the Future.
Yeah. Ooh, good.
Yeah.
Weird.
I haven't been to
Very
a theater
in
forever. I had a last minute thing. We were gonna go see Nope. By gonna go see, I mean it was like a last minute, and he wanted to go. I still haven't seen it, but
Good movie.
I heard it was good.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard kind of mixed reviews, but
Depends if you like Peele. If you like his movies.
yeah, I feel like we talked about this last
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Sorry, we got into it.
But it's good. It's good. Recommend it.
Yeah.
Smile if you guys want something scary.
I got to get into Smile. I heard
It's
it was
good?
awesome.
Fuck, dude, I fucking jumped at least 7 times.
Really?
Because it's just the sound mix in that film. Speaking of sound mixes, this is applicable. It's so good, and there's so much attention to detail in moments and misdirection, and just loud fucking moments that you just jump. It's very much designed to be kind of a spook house movie.
Yeah.
Like, everything just makes you jump.
Dude, horror movies, if you get a good sound designer,
Yeah.
right, where you're hearing sounds, and you're like, I follow this guy on TikTok, and he's got his whole setup, and the stuff he's using to do sound design is just like so rad. Like,
Sound design's an art.
it's so cool. That would be fucking sick. We did a little bit of that in school. We did a little bit of Foley and sound design. Nothing like that, but there was definitely like we did a clip from 28 Days Later. We had to put like sound to it.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is really fucking cool. Having like no sound,
Blank canvas.
put sound to it. You could, and then you like, it clicks. You're like, oh, I can like run with this. I can like get creative, right?
Yeah.
Like there's no rules. Like, what did the zombie sound like? I can make those sounds. Like, what does his step sound? Like all this stuff. But the sound design part in like horror movies is fucking cool.
I did the
think
same
it's
thing
really
in film
cool.
school. For Night of the Living Dead, I sound designed the entire film.
Oh,
Front to back.
I did like a 7-minute clip. You're like, did the whole film.
Well, it was a sound design class specifically, right? So that was like the big project at the end, like pick a film. Well, Night of the Living Dead is public domain due to a snafu with George
It's public
Romero.
domain, so you can use.
Oh yeah, you can. That movie's available.
Could you
game.
lightly touch on the snafu? Why it's
It
public
just
domain?
expired, and they didn't. The rights were not paid attention to.
It's Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah,
Huh.
the original.
That's
the
like a pretty.
George Romero film. Yeah, it's a great movie. It
is a
still
good
works,
movie.
but it was really cool because, like, I mean, I was not a sound designer. I didn't, and I'm still not today. But like you said, that moment we have the aha moment. Like, wait, I can do that because that's not a rule.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah. Once you realize that there's like, you're like you're put in this box of like you got to put sound to this thing, and then once you do one thing that kind of sounds like this, you're like, oh shit,
yeah.
like that sounds like this. Like, okay, well, let's do that. Let's pitch that up. Let's move that over here. And then you like kind of you get in this like this zone.
And that's one of my favorite things is to work with, like, again, my movies are not complex, but work with sound designers when they're like, okay, well, how do you want this, the scene to sound? And usually my only note is anything but birds. Because like,
you don't like birds.
well, what happens is like,
Birds suck too. It's fine.
even
he likes crows.
Yeah, I like crows. Even in Shepherd, there's a scene where like they're eating at a table inside the house.
There's a bird.
When you primarily hear birds outside, like throughout the scene, like there's birds, and I get it. Birds are great filler for like when there's no room tone. And I'm like, man, all I hear is they're eating at a zoo. Like I don't like
Not at a park, at a fucking zoo.
Yeah, the movie went into the zoo and they're just eating in like the cafe or something. Like Like,
And there's no like turning it down. It's either there or it's off.
yeah. And he's like, well, the windows are open. And I'm like, and they're
You ever opened your windows? I don't hear fucking.
yeah. I'm like,
I don't hear a botanical garden zoo going on out
so
there.
now they're just in a
Your fucking cars.
yeah. Was it they're in a terrarium? What was that just called? Like, what are we doing?
Fucking terrarium.
The fucking zoo? Like, what? Stop doing this. And like, so then he sends me back. He's a cool dude. And he's like, he got the note and he sends it back. And it's like, not birds, but it'll just be like, they're eating. All of a sudden you hear just like, and I'm like, so now it's one bird?
So now they're in a shittier zoo.
It was like a squawk. So he sends me like, you know, birds in the morning, they're like, chirp, 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 like, right? Like, so that was all throughout the scene. And it's fucked up because we ended up using them. We ended up using the birds very lightly. You can hear them, especially in Atmos.
So it was turning it down. It was turning it.
I didn't know they were there.
That's
fun fact, right?
hilarious.
So in one, yeah, well, one of the iterations, like when he sends me that, like they're eating and she goes for a bite and all you hear is, and I'm like, I was like,
You asshole.
what the fuck? What are we doing? Like, and I guess one of the things is, you know, you want to put your stamp, your creative stamp in there, right? And I'm all for that. And I think you should be absolutely empowered to like make a scene better. But sometimes it's
When the director asks you to take a bird sound out, you should just take it.
well, yeah,
Take the note.
Yeah, sometimes it's like,
Or maybe not a crow.
yeah, I don't know what it was. It just sounded like a big fucking bird outside the
like
window.
a goose. Oh.
Here's the problem: is it made me seem like the bird was pissed that she was taking a bite.
Just bad timing.
Yeah, it was just and it just didn't need to be there. Like if you can do one squawk, we might as well remove it.
The reality of this is you probably spent hours on this. Hours. That's
the thing, it's probably like
and
2
then he was
days.
just like, fuck it. Okay, this is turned down. It sounded good the last time I listened to it. I don't want to do this again. I'm just going to bounce it out.
Well, and
I'm going to export it. It's
sometimes
done.
the stems, the audio stems, which are basically just exports of his audio timelines, right? Those stems sometimes get like they're not saved, or there's always some sort of thing that happens, and then you get it to like the sound mixer, and he puts it in because the sound designer and mixer are different people. So the mixer puts it in, and you go to listen to the mix, and you're like, fucking, what is that? Like thunder? Why is it? it's bright outside. Why is it thunder? And then you go back to he's like,
It's
oh,
it's a long ways off.
I was trying thunder and I forgot to pull it out. And you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
So
I
then
accidentally, that's
so
so
you can
funny.
start all over again because it's a pipeline. You gotta
Yeah.
go back to the sound designer. So sound design is fucking cool though, because you can take something, a fucking room, and add creaks and a little bit of whistling wind and a shudder of and now you've got a character.
Yeah, you've got a whole environment there.
And it's
just on
fucking amazing when done right. I really can't wait to really chew on a scene that I've directed that has crazy good sound design. Because my stuff's just been so, you know, like you need it to sort of draw people's eyes.
Does it
and
seem
ears.
like it maybe not falls by the wayside? Do you think maybe just as a film is getting made, it maybe gets kind of knocked down on the totem pole of things? Or is it...
Yeah, it's expensive to do because especially if they're not library sounds, then people have to go and Foley them.
Yeah.
And you're talking about, you know,
You're hiring a person to do this. You're not...
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't a website. You got to
Yeah.
go make the sounds.
Children
yeah.
of Sorrow had a bunch of Foley stuff because we would shoot scenes MOS, which is without sound, and it would be like a character going, you know, walking down a hall or whatever, not saying anything. So, you know, it's much quicker to shoot it without sound, just to get through the scene, and then you realize you're going to go and sound design it later. So there's like tons of like footsteps and doors shutting and wind and stuff like that in Children of Sorrow, which you wouldn't think that's the movie that has a lot of it, but most of that movie is pretty much sound designed to the end of its life. Like, because we shot it in the Mojave Desert in a fucking mining lodge, an abandoned mining lodge. Not abandoned, but no longer in use. And we used it for the cult.
Yeah, sound is an interesting component to movies. It's like not, you don't think about it until it's bad, until you hear it and you're like, that is... Yeah. Also, why is music always so loud in movies? Like, without fail, it is always like, turn it down. Here comes the fucking action point. It's always so loud. Like, I guess I get it, but is there just like a standard of like, The music has to be, it's got to be a little above everything else just so you know it's there.
Yeah.
Is that basically it?
I find that sound mixes are across the fucking board. Like, you could see a movie in a theater, it sounds amazing, and then you get the sound mix for like Blu-ray or something, you're like, this is so uneven.
Yeah.
Like, you constantly have to turning it up and down and up and down.
I'm doing that all up. Yeah, I'm doing it all the time.
Everything on Netflix.
But it also might be the encoding. It could have something to do with the streaming.
Yeah, maybe they ask to send a stem of the music or something.
Yeah, and I
then
don't
they
know
jack it up
because
later.
yeah, because I've not really. That's like a totally different world.
Yeah.
Where like you have your movie and all your stems and stuff, and then you go to streaming and it's like there are just certain like levels and that they think are safe and also take up bandwidth if there's the audio files are.
I'm sure it's just the same for like Spotify and stuff. You submit a song to Spotify, they got to have it a certain level.
Yeah.
Right. And if it doesn't hit their algorithm correctly, it's not going to get in the thing. If it doesn't hit.
There's a standard.
Yeah. And then they.
Production ready standards or.
I broke out my Halloween shirt.
I know, dude.
cool.
Well, this was the only like weird shirt I had. It was a panda shirt.
I like that shirt.
It's
I
a
think
fun
cool.
shirt.
So I had a question. What does that say on the site? Memphis or something?
Memphis Zoo. I got this at the Memphis Zoo.
Dude.
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
Memphis had a zoo.
They got pandas there?
No, have you ever thought about like how many places have like fucking zoos that you were like, I
It's
didn't know
bizarre.
that.
Yeah,
Why
it's
do you
like the
have a
middle of the
zoo?
country.
There's
They
a
got-
giraffe in North Dakota?
Dude,
Like-
when we went there though, it's sad because
Is
they,
it?
Oh, yeah, zoos are fucked up,
Zoos
dude.
are depressing as it is, but when we went there, there was a polar bear there. Oh, it was doing that weird, like, I don't know if you've ever seen them. They do like this weird anxiety walk where they kind of like walk back and forth and they kind of do this pacing thing and they like bob their head. They're all skinny. It's real gross.
Oh man.
Because I remember like a year and a half or 2 years after we were watching this documentary and like this polar bear they showed on this thing was like in an anxious thing and it was doing the thing and I was like, that's the thing that the one at the Memphis Zoo was doing, and it was very sad. We also did see a cute little baby orangutan though do a somersault.
Yeah, that sounds.
And we
was it
got
an
to see the
anxiety somersault?
we got to see the panda. Nobody there. Because we were just there in the, I don't know, when not busy. We went there like 2 hours before they closed. So like nobody was there. And so usually there's like a bajillion kids lined up to see the panda.
Yeah.
It was just us.
What's Memphis like?
It's cool. Memphis is I like Memphis. Yeah, the downtown's great. I mean, food is great, even though I don't eat meat. The food is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
People are nice. Beale Street's pretty cool. I haven't been to Nashville. I know that's like 3 hours away from Memphis. I know you asked how Memphis is, and I'm like, I haven't been to Nashville. It's like a fucking stupid way to answer that
What
question.
an idiot,
I know.
dude. Fucking...
But yeah, it's cool. My dad lives out there, so
Oh, okay. Cool. Seems like a lot of people are moving out that way.
yeah, it's a cool spot. Yeah. I would move out there. We've kind of talked about it just because my dad lives out there and whatever. But
Is it still like? Is there still a lot of land like available, or is there like a lot of new construction going up because of?
I don't think
Exodus?
so. I don't think so. I think
No?
I think there's a lot of like new houses and stuff out there, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's cool. It's pretty fun out there.
Well, killer panda, bro.
Do we want to see what videos I had saved on
Yeah,
here that we
let's
can watch?
let's fucking dive into that.
Whoa, what you got videos?
Yeah, it's off that weird site he was talking about. Is that 911 or 9/11?
It's 9/11,
Okay.
World War II, Genghis Khan, Black Plague, Spanish flu, and the Titanic. I was thinking we could maybe do at some point like a draft of the worst things that have ever happened in human history.
Oh my god,
Fucking terrible.
And I just was off the top.
I'm in.
These were the 5 or 6 off the top.
Genghis Khan's interesting because
that
you
is
know,
that's what I was looking at.
because you know what? I know who he is.
Right.
Right.
Notice I didn't put Hitler. Well, I don't believe that it happened.
Well, don't
so
you have World War II?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm here for the
Holocaust
I'm here
is
for the
a
highlights.
conspiracy,
Yeah.
Jesus
It's a
Christ.
conspiracy. Like a conspiracy against who? Like Germans? Like I don't like who is it against?
That's I don't understand.
That makes no
Deniers.
sense.
It's
Yeah.
bizarre. Okay, so there's these and then there's these.
Dude, just fucking go for it, all right?
Okay. We're probably gonna have to sit through some ads.
I was having relations.
God,
I like that I can hear it.
It was just
oh yeah, this took me quite the internal routing of my computer to get this set up to where we could hear it. So I'm pretty proud of that.
You should be. That's cool.
It's fine. It's not as easy as it sounds. It seems like it should be easy.
Sounds
but
like
it's
you just plug
fucking
it in
not.
and do it, but apparently not.
A Wendy's employee accused of punching
yeah,
a
I saw that.
customer faces second-degree murder charges
dude died.
after the victim
Yeah.
died of his injuries more
He
than
hit
a
him
week
so hard he
later.
died?
Look how fucking hard he punches.
Hold on, I mean,
this
it
dude.
looks like it, but it's like, what he hit him with, like adamantium
A Wendy's
hands?
employee
What?
Bam! He's got that Goku punch, dude.
It's the
It looks like he died when he hit him.
the Wendy's employee was tired of this dude complaining about his food, so he literally killed him.
Holy
This
shit!
is this is
I
like
never- I didn't know
next
about
on
this.
Snapped.
I saw this on TMZ, bro.
What?
If you don't follow TMZ on Instagram,
Wait, hold
you're
on.
doing it right.
So, okay, he's mad,
Okay.
and then death punch.
Yep.
What's he complaining? What do you think?
He's dead right there. As
What
soon
do
as
you think
hits
he
him.
complained about?
I don't know, but he hit him in the temple. Looks like.
Do you think he was like the fucking Sprite's out, my diet root beer, and this guy was
I
like,
got no ice.
that's it.
Where is this? The South.
I would assume
Wendy's.
it's at Wendy's.
Yeah, that part.
By
that
the
part
way-
didn't escape me.
I listened to a podcast the other day, and they had like apparently there's a company that does like a fast food poll, right? They rank them. Wendy's was last in like 3 of them.
You know someone found a fucking human finger in their chili at Wendy's once.
I do, yeah. Well, I think Jeffrey Dahmer owned that
Grotesque.
franchise, so I think that
Jeez.
has since closed down.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
might reopen now.
Well, he probably would have eaten the finger. So
Yeah,
Wait,
he-
but
he-
just-
don't let that go to waste. Like,
Just quickly though, because I must know this. We haven't talked about this. Do we have a favorite fast food joint? Just around the room, real quick. I know you don't eat meat, but maybe if there's somewhere.
when I did Taco Bell.
that's okay.
I'd
I
probably
get
go
it.
In and Out.
In and Out.
Yeah.
What about you?
I kind of honestly, and I don't get it enough. I kind of love Arby's.
Arby's is
That's
it's
a hot take.
Yeah,
kind
like-
of a sleeper though, because I fucked up some roast beef and cheeses when I was a kid with my dad. Get like 2 of those, and I like their hash browns in the triangle. Those are solid.
Dude, Arby's, the barbecue.
They need to. Okay.
The barbecue.
But here's the thing.
The rock
They
style.
gotta decide on a fucking slogan. They
We
keep
have the
bouncing.
meats?
We
Yeah.
have the meats. It's good mood food. Like fucking pick one.
You know what
know-
though? At least they have a brand. Wendy's doesn't have a brand.
No, and
Wendy's is the brandless.
Wendy's could
That's
be
true.
Wendy's could be a bigger contender because the burger's not too bad for a fried
yeah.
square fucking hammy kind of looking burger, right? It's not too bad.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's not
And
my
you can,
favorite.
you can get a cup of chili and a baked potato.
Yeah, free finger. I mean, it's not bad.
Free finger.
You know. Anyway, I was curious, but I think those are good takes. Like, I can't argue.
I don't think we're going wrong with any of these.
In-N-Out is one of the best burgers you can get, bar none.
Anywhere.
Taco
Yeah.
Bell is just good.
If you're backed up, have some Taco Bell.
No, dude, I could. Yeah, I ate so much. Yeah, Taco Bell was always like, because it was right by our school. We'd go there after school,
Yep.
and
Shit, I'd go there.
also
I went there during school.
Yeah, and then also after school when I was in my college, whatever. I feel weird saying college because it was like a bullshit fucking sound engineering school. But on the way home on Douglas, there was a fucking Taco Bell that I would stop by every night because I was starving.
Yeah.
Because I would go there after work and I wouldn't really eat anything. Just fuck up some Taco Bell, dude. I love Taco Bell.
Chick-fil-A is also a
I was
Chick-fil-A is
gonna
very
say
good,
Chick-fil-A
yeah.
seems like it's almost like on another.
It's
Real
like
high.
a little above. It's almost like the Habit. Like the Habit's not really fast. It's like it's up there.
Okay, what's your favorite French fry?
McDonald's.
Not McDonald's. You know, Del Taco has some good French fries. Those crinkle fries.
I'm
are
gonna
good.
go. I'm gonna go Chris Cut from either Chick-fil-A or Carl's Jr.
These are all good picks, except for McDonald's.
Yeah, I know. It's not a popular one, but to me,
Well, I think it is a popular one. I think I'm unpopular
Dude,
in this decision.
He reverse cycled his McDonald's. He has eaten so much McDonald's,
So
and then
much.
one time he thought he got appendicitis, and he's like, "I can't have
Appendicitis?
McDonald's anymore." I don't know. That one time he had to go to the hospital or
yeah,
something.
they said I had an intestine infection.
I don't know. Somebody,
And they said it was probably from the McDonald's. So I said, fuck that, I'm out.
yeah. So I'm saying like
They lost a
I'm
customer.
saying like you've eaten so much of it, it's like completely.
Remember my body just rejected it after that much.
Yeah, I was like, look, dude, you've hit your peak for your life already, so you've lost McDonald's
ate,
privileges.
I don't
a
like
lot
any,
of McDonald's.
but I don't really think any of their menu items are all that good. Their burgers, I think, are terrible.
Yeah,
But-
they're not great.
But the fries are like they're cooked, and I understand
They were good.
They're cooked in a certain type of
I could
fat.
fuck up a fillet of fish too, but honestly, I think
smell.
Carl's Jr. has a better fillet of fish
Carl's Jr. is just not bad.
or a
It's
fish.
not
Yeah,
bad
I
food.
like my cousins used to work at Carl's Jr. Get free Carl's Jr. all the time.
It's not bad.
Their milkshakes were good too.
Yeah.
they're really good.
They had good like malts.
yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, that's what I
Dude,
was saying.
chicken
the
star
malts.
fries.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
bomb.
They're like, or they what are they called? They're like fried chicken stars.
They're the chicken stars, yeah. But then they also have the Carl's Jr. Green Burrito.
Yep, that was it, dude. That was the move.
That was the best collab I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, and then A&W and KFC had their weird one. I would get the KFC snackers. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get the famous
I would
balls.
ride my bike like fucking 4 miles from my house in Lincoln, all the way to the one in Lincoln, and I'd eat some snackers and then ride home.
Do you remember when the snackers were Chicken Littles?
Yeah.
No.
Before they were like the original recipe, they were like a lightly breaded, like little, like just mayo, some soft bun, and chicken. Oh my God. I wish you could go back in time.
Tyler's like, I might
Part
go
of me
back to
wanted,
meat for
because
that.
it's Halloween, I wanted to get like some Halloween candy, but like I don't feel like eating a bunch of candy. But like, what's your
Well, I do, but I don't.
what's like your go-to? What's your Halloween? I don't want to say Halloween candy. 'cause
What's just your favorite candy?
It's just candy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm actually not a huge candy guy, but I do have a favorite candy if I was
Okay.
going to eat it.
Great.
And that would be a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Yep, right there.
Man, we
That's
are
the
just all on it.
That is the one. If
my
if
favorite.
you don't say Reese's is your favorite,
But like,
you're basically Hitler.
Andrea doesn't like peanut butter. She cannot stand peanut butter.
Really?
Nope, not at all.
I feel like those were actually given to us by a society that wanted us, like a secret society, maybe from space,
Yeah.
that wanted us to survive. Because they're like, here's something to fucking live for. That's how I feel.
Have you had a Reese's Fast Break?
They're not bad, dude. I love them.
Not bad.
they're the
those,
best.
Those are my favorites. Those are at the top.
But like when people are like,
100%, I
when
don't
they're like,
care.
I can't eat it. It's not a real. I'm like, it may not be a Reese's, peanut butter cup, but it's fucking delicious.
No, it's the best.
delicious.
It's,
And then
I can taste
also-
one right now. I used to eat them so much. I would have one of those and a giant Arizona before school every day, because I had first block off. I swing by the gas station and just pound them before I'd even walk in.
And then also whoever is, the powers that be at Reese's saw the M&M, were like, we can do one better.
Don't like
Reese's Pieces.
No, Reese's Pieces are gross.
Oh no, they're not. They're fucking delicious.
Don't like 'em.
So you're a fan of the Reese's Pieces?
I'm a fan of all Reese's.
I don't like 'em.
Actually, I take that back. They started making Reese's peanut butter cups with Lay's potato chips in them.
No, they didn't.
They did. I saw these and I
I
was
could
like,
get the salty and sweet.
But like,
Have you had it?
are they?
no, I haven't had it. But
we should try it.
Maybe we should try it.
Have you had the Frankenstein ones? They come out for Halloween. Have you had the Reese's Ghosts?
No.
I've had the ghost, yeah.
And they have,
Again, I don't-
They're white chocolate.
I don't divulge in much candy because once I start, I cannot stop.
Yeah.
And that's just a part of
Well, you do when it's gone.
my life. And I've just accepted that. So it's like if I'm in for a penny, I'm in for a fucking pound. And I'm just gonna,
I get it.
if I'm gonna eat one, I will eat 15.
And
then another
No
15.
shame from me.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll
I'm
do
just not
it.
a candy guy, but like if I do, I
It's
get
Reese's.
I get a cup of milk, and I get a 453
God, so you go
Reese's.
all in.
Yeah.
Do you like Oreos?
Not, I mean, my wife likes them, and I'll eat them every now and then.
I like it when they're available, but like I don't go out of
You
my
don't
way
like
for
seek them out?
Yeah.
So my
But
fat,
they're better than Chips Ahoy. I'm sorry, I'm cutting you
No,
off.
yeah, that's all right.
They are better than Chips Ahoy.
Okay. Go ahead.
My fat food is if I'm like I don't give a fuck about my body, not that I'm trying to win a contest,
You
but
look
I'm
great.
like, but I'm like, hey, if I don't give a shit, it's basically a sleeve of those honey made crackers. You know that
Honey made?
You know what they are? They're like
Teddy Grahams.
No, they're like honey crackers. They're oh god, who makes them? Fuck, can we look it up? Can you find that?
Honey crackers. You might get something weird here.
Yeah, they're graham crackers.
Is he
They're just
some
honey
dude with
flavored graham
4 teeth?
crackers.
Oh, just graham crackers?
Yeah.
Honey Maid.
Yeah, that's
the brand, yeah.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
So okay, so I get there's a sleeve of those,
It's
right?
just, your name in the brand was like graham crackers, bro.
Yeah, no,
It's fucking graham crackers.
It's like trying to find the formal name for Kleenex. It's like it's just a Kleenex, dude, not a
Yeah.
tissue.
Puffs.
Sorry.
So I just specifically a honey made graham cracker, right?
I got you.
And then another again
Teddy
with,
Grahams.
with the cup of milk, right? And you just dip it. And
That
it's-
is good. I've had that.
just
The
so
ones with the
good.
cinnamon too are fucking
Yes.
bomb. Those are peak good.
And if you ever really just want to enhance it, Joyce showed me this little tidbit. You just get some of that fucking cream cheese icing and just right over the top of that.
Oh my god, that is
you know
a
what? I
dirty
used
trick,
to-
my friend.
Oh, it's so good.
You know what? My friend
shit.
Joe Haas, shout out to Joe Haas. We should get him on the podcast.
I like Joe.
Yeah, I miss Joe. But his mom would pack him a little thing of cream cheese with garlic salt on there. And he would have pretzels and dip them in there. Dude, fucking hack. And what I would do, because my parents shopped at Costco, the fucking KFC bucket full of fucking Philadelphia cream cheese that you could buy at Costco.
KFC bucket.
Here's what I would do. I would take the garlic salt that was also from Costco. That was also
Dump it in there, mix it up.
Well, sprinkle it on top. Everybody ate from it, and I'd be like, well, now I got to eat the whole top layer of garlic salt because I don't want to just leave garlic salt in there, and
Yeah,
I
it'd
would
be rude.
fuck up half the tub of Philadelphia cream. It's so good if you are
Garlic salt's good on like just about anything.
Cream cheese is good at just good
That too, yeah.
about anything. Wow,
agree.
that was quite the tangent. Just for
Anyways,
this guy
I
dying at
enjoyed
Wendy's.
that though.
I was just curious, and now I know a lot more, and that's knowing is half the battle.
What is this? I think this lady gets yeeted off of a.
Oh yeah, I saw this.
Did you see this?
Yeah, hood sight. She gets like just thrown.
What was that from?
A bowl.
Oh, good God!
It's like play stupid games, win stupid prizes. There's like a 2-foot thing between you and this fucking bowl.
It's crazy that people are like, I can't believe this is happening. It's so scary. Like, that's a wild animal. They're mad. They feel,
They don't want to be there.
Yeah, and they can kill you.
Oh, here's another food one. Here's a poll we took. Okay, so this was food touching. Do you feel? How do you feel about your food touching
Yeah.
on plates? A lot of people were for it.
I mean, I don't give a fuck.
Somebody voted, I only eat smoothies, which is the ultimate.
I want to know who that was.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Shout out to the person with a boring life.
Yeah. But I was kind of shocked. I feel like I'm in the minority of like wanting my food. It's not even like I don't mind. I want it.
I'm more than I don't mind.
Yeah, I don't
If
care.
it touches whatever, but I'm not going to go out of my way and mix up everything.
No,
Sometimes it's quite a treat though. When it's all
It
mixed
is.
in, you're like, that's a delicious combo.
dude. You
what
wanna
was
know
that? I don't know.
Sick fuck I was today. So Andrea made these like little like egg McMuffin sausage, not sausage things, but like, you know, English muffin, eggs and stuff, and put them in the freezer, and then we put them in the air fryer. We heat them up, and they're really good.
Mm-hmm.
So she made one of those, and then I cooked up some vegan sausages with some avocado and some ketchup, and I was taking my thing, I was dipping it in the ketchup, taking a bite, not finishing the bite, stabbing the avocado with the sausage, and also inserting that in my mouth. So now I have a bite of the sandwich, the sausage, the ketchup, and the avocado all in one because I want it all together.
You monster.
I don't know why. I just want it all to work, and it always works.
What prompted the complexity? Just trying new things?
There's no complexity. It's just
He just wants all of the food
it's like that
items
all
in
the
his
time.
mouth
I
at one
just
time.
I like it all. I like everything tasting together. I don't know why.
No, but like to me, complex isn't that there's multiple.
Like, why would I go out of my way to like dip it and then hold the food in my mouth?
Well, yeah, there's no A to B, right? Like you're doing like no A to Z. I guess it'd be A to Z because you're doing like dip, then your mouth, right? Mm-hmm. That seems complex.
It is.
So, I mean, have you always done that?
I've always liked my food touching. I've always liked it mixed together.
Like
I've
if
always
it's not, like if somebody like gave
If it's
you
not,
a
it
plate
feels
with
like
like
I'm
the separator things,
I'm
you'd
missing
be like,
out.
oh, what the?
I'm
what is
missing
this?
out. Yeah, like if I get, I don't know, like, you know, you go to somewhere and they got like the rice and then the whatever and then the whatever. I'm like, just do all in one.
What if
bite.
you like
a
went-
shish kebab?
What,
I'd like
but what if you got like a side salad? Would you just dump that on your main course?
sometimes.
Wow.
I'm not
over hot
bullshitting you. I'm really not. It's
like, what if you got
well,
soup and salad?
Well, the salad is interesting because I'm not a dressing guy. So if I can get the salad down without having to put shitty ranch or even a vinaigrette dressing on there, I'll do it. I'll stab it onto my protein of choice or on my carb of choice and just ingest it that way. Like if
but-
I got some diced up potatoes, you know, take a potato.
You're not a dressing guy.
I mean, okay,
tastes good.
I like all foods most of the time. It's just most of them are unhealthy, and I'm probably more conscious than the average person. So I just try and avoid whatever nonsense, non-nutritional dressing to put on there. But to be honest, I can do a little bit of ranch or Thousand Island, but
Caesar?
It's Caesar. That's a go-to.
Aside from like the health conscious angle, like, is there any that you're like, I really enjoy this on my lettuce, or I enjoy this on my salad?
No, I'm not a big salad guy.
Not-
I
okay.
pretty much avoid salads.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm not a huge salad person, but sometimes a
But
salad.
if I'm forced to get like a side salad,
yeah.
It's always going to be Caesar for me.
I'll probably ask for Caesar or just no dressing, and I'll do what I said. I'll just fucking
Man.
stab it and.
Caesar's hard for me because the Caesar dressing, if it's anchovy based, I'm out. Because
See,
I can taste that shit.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
That's
what Emily
so
says.
funny.
I can't taste it.
Fuck no,
Oh,
man.
dude, I
I just
can.
taste the Caesar.
It tastes amazing.
It goes like this.
It tastes amazing.
I taste it. But
Emily
then
says Wendy's Caesar has anchovies.
it does, and it's fucking gross. And here's
So
the
weird.
thing.
Wendy's has Caesar salad.
Dude, Wendy's has everything.
Yeah.
Fuck, we should hit up a Wendy's, dude, and we should complain and see if we can get knocked the fuck out, dude.
So
Or
that
dead.
You
Or
need
die.
to find Caesar that doesn't. A lot of like.
I mean, I've had both, but
Yeah.
I've can never tell.
The craft stuff is great because it's like, made in a lab.
I think we get like Newman's own.
Made in a lab.
Yeah.
It's the best kind.
It is. Well, it's the most generic fucking pipeline dressing, right? They just squeeze it out, and it's good
Squeeze it from one bottle to another bottle.
because it's basically ranch with a little bit of kick.
Yeah.
And I like that, but I do not like it when it has the anchovies.
You remember this shit?
I remember 2 on the right.
Speaking of the breadsticks, look at this shit.
That's the one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this thing. Literally right here.
pizza on
The
the top
peaches,
right-hand
dude.
corner.
I remember these peaches.
That looks like school pizza on the top right.
Yeah,
Definitely.
The
in like the square with like
Yeah.
the little sausage, the little round
There was some
sausages.
asshole company that made the worst pizza ever, but yet you were like,
It was so good.
it's not
It's
good.
pizza day.
It's not bad.
It's pizza day.
I'm gonna order that again.
Oh, I love these. I fucking love these.
Have you seen these? The
Yeah.
world's fastest reader, Jourdan.
No.
The other one's better though. You know the one I'm talking about? It's like,
I did.
like an Indian dude.
I
He's
think-
like more into it.
But like the fucked up part is I can't decide if laughing at him
I know, right?
or laughing at like the absurdity that's possible.
Right.
Right? Yeah, like
And
and like to be fair, this might be cut up, this might be edited in a way where like he's just doing it over and over again, but still just the idea that like I mean that looks like what he's doing is like the world's fastest reader. Like what the fuck are you?
Like he didn't even know he even saw every page.
No.
Like,
Well, he skipped pages. Yeah. It's like so.
Okay, this one is like I don't know if we want to. Apparently there's AI out there that will, if you take a picture somewhere, this guy that she's talking about in this video developed a program where if you're out taking a picture, there's AI that can find another camera that will find you taking
a
the picture. Have you seen this?
No, but that's pretty
A guy on
wacky.
take an Instagram photo and use AI to search open cameras in a location to see if they can find the video of you taking the photo on that day. So the guy who created Die With Me, which is that chat app you can only use when you have less than 5% battery, just unveiled this software where you give it like the Instagram photo on the left and on the right
So yeah, so here's like these dudes taking the picture here.
you see this AI searching through a bunch of open cameras all around the world
that,
to see if they
dude.
can find the people in the photo with the proper location and give you the video of the photo actually being.
I mean, where are we at?
It's so
Personally, I think this is brilliant. This must have been so hard to.
That's insane.
It's interesting. I didn't know that.
I don't know why that needs to exist.
Skynet.
It's just people that are just using data that's already available.
Have you seen this?
No, but it looks promising.
Do you want to play the "Is this racist or not" game?
Listen to this product demo of a new technology that promises to change the accents of call center workers to make them sound like white Americans.
Great to hear. I'm doing very well. Thank you very much for asking. So how can I help you today? I'm so sorry about that. I'll be glad to help you.
That is insane.
Okay, so I have a question. And it's legitimate. Have you guys ever called and dealt with like PayPal or eBay or anybody from like these big companies? Amazon?
Well, we work for a big company that outsources a call
yes.
center.
Okay.
So yes,
It's
On
either,
many occasions.
either the same person works for every company or they do use filters, which I've always thought.
Oh, you think they use one of these?
I think that they use voice filters on a lot of employees because everybody sounds the pitch, the tone, everybody sounds the exact same. I'm not talking about accents.
No, yeah.
I'm just talking about the clarity even. It all sounds like it's the same fucking person.
Can I get your full name, phone number, and address to check in on that order?
The tech is being peddled by a startup called Sanas that was founded by 3 former Stanford students who swear they aren't racist.
They
They
swear.
describe their approach as accent matching, claiming that this improves understanding and customer satisfaction.
Now,
if it's going to make the interaction easier, whether that's changing the voice, changing the quality of the call, changing how long I'm on hold, whatever metric it is you're using, I'm in for it. Because, I mean, it's just the nasty
I have a
truth.
question. Do they only change it to like
white American?
White American.
Probably not. I mean, this is probably like the beta, and this is just the standard. But
Because if they change it to like as many different nationalities as they can, I mean,
But I don't think it's a. I don't think they're doing language. I don't think they're like changing. You know what I mean? You couldn't have like a. I mean, you could. The technology exists. Have like somebody speaking in Chinese and translate that, and also take away. That's a whole different technology.
Right.
This seems like it's more like a live feed. You got it on your phone while you're on the phone. You click that thing. Now all of a sudden, this person with an accent that's hard to understand, who's speaking in English, it just changes the. It changes the EQ or changes the formant of the voice to sound. I mean, more hearable.
It sounds like what it's doing is it's taking it's almost like a closed caption session, and then it's got a bot reading off the closed caption based on what they're saying, and that bot is engineered to have a specific dialect.
Interesting.
And that makes it easier for the interaction.
I guess what
I don't know if it's. I mean, then you have to almost say any time you try to improve interaction between like a global, you try to improve a global interaction, right? Because accents are real.
Right.
People have them. Our accent to some people is frustrating.
Yeah.
Because we say like and that kind of stuff, and it's annoying. But then there are certainly some interactions with folks that it is difficult to understand.
Yeah.
And that's a reality.
Genuinely difficult to understand. Not just because...
Not because they're not smart or they're not capable.
Yeah, the accent is just hard.
Yeah.
Right.
Hard to understand. It seems like it's clickbaity. It worked.
Yeah.
Watching it, so.
Because how many things are improved that you could say the internet, right? Like call centers, for example, like are hardly ever in the US.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? And the reason is because it's cheaper, right? To have people out there. Well, if it's cheaper, that could be construed as racist because you're saying, oh, these people are willing to work for less and you're taking advantage of them because they're not from here. Like, how far do you want to go?
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody's fine with that.
Yeah.
'Cause it saves them money. But the moment you're like, let's improve a communication tool, like a communication using a tool, then it's easy to just be like, oh, it's inherently racist. But I think there's a lot more that you have to dive into on that is like, why does it need, where is it going to be applied? And, people also just don't like altering things because they feel like it's an inferior, it's you're changing it because somebody's inferior.
Right.
Like
Is there any like undertones of like, I'm American, cater to me? That's kind of how this comes off to me. Is like, I'm incapable of tolerating an uncomfortable, annoying phone call for 10 minutes. So I need this to work for me.
But I also took it as if I'm in, let's just say the UK and I'm in like England or whatever, right? And I'm talking to somebody who's in Scotland, that it would give me a better Scottish accent based on my locale.
Got it.
I don't know
Do you think
that
that would be like distancing us and making us less global if like everything is, you know what I mean? If everything's being catered to us, maybe it kind of alienates us. Like, oh, everything is so, perfect. I don't know. This is a stretch. Obviously, this is some small app that nobody's going to fucking use anyway.
Yeah.
But like just the idea of like, oh, well, we need to make it more American and more whatever just seems a little strange, but
it could be.
don't care.
I mean, I think the application is certainly the question.
I'm sure you saw this already, Sam, but Jordan, maybe you didn't.
Oh, yeah.
This is me fighting off the bears, by the way. That's trash.
Is that a bear climbing up the side of a mountain?
He's like just on this ledge and this bear.
Like I started attacking him.
God, the adrenaline in this guy's
I know.
fucking veins, man.
Well, I mean, because once it gets up there,
I mean, look at this thing fucking coming in hot.
Yeah, and he just like
I mean, it like
yeets it off. Like
imagine if the bear
is a little more stealthy.
like barely get it, like got his arm or something on the way down and just
took him with him.
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, the chances of you actually surviving a bear attack, I mean, I know it's minute.
Yeah.
But some people have, and I just think it's just luck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
this?
Yeah.
I mean, if this dude's out in the flat, like you dead.
You're done.
He's lucky he was
Dead.
on the
Unless-
side of he had some leverage.
Yeah.
His
this
vantage
is-
point,
Well, this is good. It's good advice, right? You see, if you think there's a bear coming, find somewhere where there's a ledge where you can, I don't know, maybe
throw it off?
I don't know. So you're not on just
Or just like Matador defense it?
flat fucking ground.
Don't.
Nope.
Nope. Dude. No. Is that
Why did it come out to just?
It's a camel spider, bro. Fuck off.
That made me sick. Fuck. I like how it just kind of creeps out. Like, hey,
The
what's
first
up?
time I saw this, I was like, oh, fuck that.
Ah! No.
They're obviously in Australia. There's no other place that happens.
Obviously. Okay,
think
so
I've
I
ever
went.
heard of
Okay, I went to a wedding. I'll leave them nameless. I'll cut this out. But that person, girlfriend, has had a wedding that she was having to go to. It's been planned for like 2 years, right? She's like, have this wedding to go to, but she like doesn't want to go. She's like, I'm gonna get out of it, right? And so it's coming up. It's like next month, and apparently she just called and like canceled her hotel, right? Like trying to like just like no one's gonna remember, right? Like I'm gonna cancel my hotel to this place, and it's in Washington D.C. This is not just like pop down to fucking Rio Linda for a wedding. Like, no, this is like thousands of dollars for a plane ticket to get there. Yeah. She calls and cancels the hotel. She gets a call back from the person that's planning this thing and goes, hey, I saw that you aren't on the hotel thing anymore. Like, call me back. We can figure it out. And then she just doesn't reply. Good move, by the way. Just fucking
That's my kind of
just
move,
ghost her. She gets another text or a call and is like, hey, I saw you weren't on there. It's okay. I just put you back on. It's all right. Don't worry about it. So now she's like in for this fucking wedding. And then it sparked this other conversation of like, do men care who's at the wedding?
They only care about,
you had a wedding? Have you had a wedding?
Yeah.
If I would say, especially if I was in Washington, D.C., I would be bummed if you didn't come. And
it's there's certain people.
let me tell you, the relation to this person and the wedding is like not. It's like a childhood friend that she was older than and like knew her as a kid. Like this is not like a sister.
There's
or
no
something.
BFFs here.
No,
Not a big deal.
Yeah.
not a huge deal. So I guess my question is like, why don't men care about who gets invited to the wedding? Like, I don't know.
I had like
stressful.
a list of like outside of family, like 5 to 10 people, maybe that I was like, that'd be cool if they showed up. That was it.
That was it.
And then the rest were all family or Emily's friends.
Yeah, I think there's so much going on, in a wedding and like in the planning.
Oh, I don't know about that. I did no planning.
You didn't?
No.
Oh yeah.
It was all Emily and Joyce.
Oh yeah.
Have you
like
seen how he plans these? Wouldn't you be glad he didn't plan your wedding?
I was in a position to.
That's a shot.
I appreciate the assumption, though.
Well, I mean, I just
I like that.
yeah. I'm
gonna ride that for a while.
I couldn't do it on my own. I'd have to be a part of the planning process, or at least I was.
I helped with music, actually. That was it.
Yeah.
Sweating, dude.
That I just think there's a lot going on, and like to where you're like, whoever shows up,
Is a win.
I'm grateful.
Yeah.
If you can't make it, like,
But also,
okay,
you're asking people to fly across the country.
right. And if it's
Washington D.C. is very far, and also
all
like
expenses
not
paid.
a cool destination.
No.
no, you're liable to get murdered. It's a dangerous place.
It's like top 5 murder capitals of the world.
Top 5, you think?
Or the country, I mean, not the world.
The world.
The world. Both worlds.
Anyways, yeah, I think I did. Who cares? I mean, if you can make it, great. If you can't, especially if you're NBD, no big deal type of person,
Yeah.
cool. Thanks for letting me know. You can't make it. All good.
Yep.
And I guess like we'll just like the empty. Was there even an empty gesture of like, hey, if you can't make it, it's okay?
There's too much going on. I mean,
Yeah.
if you can, like I said, if there's too much going on, if you just get the fucking thing organized to the point where it actually happens, if you can make it, great. Like, but then again, my personality is also not to make people feel bad if they can't
Yeah.
be there. I don't, even for like anything really, like, if you can't make it, you can't make it. Like, people have personal things that come up. Like, I've just never been like oh really? What? You sure you can't make it? It'd be really nice if you could.
Oh,
Like, I can't do
Like, am I
chills.
sure? Like, I just told you. Think this wasn't awkward enough for me? I just
Yeah.
told you I couldn't
Yeah.
make it.
And then you hit me with like, you sure? No, I'm not sure. I'm
because
just telling you
because
that
we can like help you pay.
Right.
We
No,
can like
that's the
pitch
worst.
in.
Yeah.
No, I would rather be beheaded by ISIS than have you help me pay for the wedding and me go to it. Thank you.
Jesus Christ.
That took a turn.
Yeah, I mean, that shows how you feel.
Yeah. Let's see.
What are booster shoes?
I found a pair of shoes in the lost and found. They had a little boosters in them.
What?
Oh, Oh, like lifts.
Yeah, like short,
Got it.
like short king lifts.
Oh, I was thinking like rockets.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
Oh.
Did NASA make these?
Like Jimmy Neutron shoes.
Exactly.
No,
That's great.
I don't know why I put it in my notes. I just thought it was funny because I've never really seen them. Because there was like the booster, and then there was like the Dr. Scholl's orthotic in there. It's like this dude was trying to fucking dunk a basketball or something with these. Okay, Thanksgiving. The only thing with Thanksgiving was I was reading the book about the Native Americans, right? The Comanche thing, and I was like, did Thanksgiving really even I mean, this book is showing this shit didn't happen. And I looked up, what is Thanksgiving, right? And it's like Canada and blah, blah, blah. They celebrate the blessings and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, there's nothing in here about a fucking dinner or anything with the pilgrims and the people. And it's like, it says it's generally believed by Americans that there was a breaking of bread or whatever. And I'm like, generally believed? Like, you had fucking 8-year-olds dressed up in Native American costumes doing plays in front of their parents based on this thing. Like, people believe this, and there's no way in fuck this happened.
I personally
There's
think
no way
it was
in
like some colonial went over to them and threw a fucking bread and said, "Fucking you stay there, I'm right here." And then draws a fucking line in the dry sand.
And also, I'm gonna draw this,
and then genocide.
I'm gonna draw this line. I'm coming over that line later, bitch. I'm coming
Exactly.
over there.
And then he's going to be like, I don't know where I got the herpes.
Yeah.
Okay?
I don't know.
The venereal disease.
But-
I don't know where it came from, but you don't come over this line.
I'm gonna give you smallpox regardless. Okay.
And so that's where I think that was Thanksgiving.
I think that was it.
Yeah.
Like maybe a brunch, or maybe they raided a village.
Yeah.
And they were like, "You guys got a fucking pig out here, or
Dude,
whatever." They
nice.
buffalo. They had a lot of buffalo.
But how about that though? You make a whole industry is built around what may or may not have actually happened, which is no different than like Christmas.
Yeah.
They don't even know where they don't even know where he was born. In a manger, fucking city, which it's Star
A manger.
Child.
I've never even heard that word.
Yeah, like where did he come from? Space? Nobody knows.
thought it was Bethlehem.
Beth, it could be. I just think that there's so much that's
In a book.
people create these stories and then it becomes, these holidays,
Yeah.
right? Because I think people A, like stories, and then B,
They like kumbaya bullshit.
but also you can sell it,
Yeah, that's what it
yeah.
is. It's all money making.
And it's also like we eat turkey.
Okay,
Like I
Columbus
guarantee
Day.
they weren't eating turkey. Like all they had were like chickens and buffalo, dude. Like turkeys. I could be wrong, but also Thanksgiving probably didn't happen. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think it.
I don't think it did. And you had explorers coming over here, which we know is well documented. I said colonials. I didn't mean colonials, but like, conquistadorish kind of explorers, Spaniards coming here, charted, by, well, it's a lot of money behind the explorations, right? And ultimately what they found is that they can kill people inferior to them and take their stuff. And then we give him a holiday. It's like Genocide Day,
Yeah.
right? We just call it Columbus Day.
Genocide day.
Because it is in a lot of ways.
I mean, yeah.
G Day, yeah, it's good.
But like we don't talk about. I don't understand. Like, why does he get
A pass?
Yeah, why don't we have Viking Day? Like they were fucking here way before.
Yeah.
That asshole.
Before Columbus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bizarre that Columbus has a day.
But there's got to be some.
Yeah.
There's something to it, right? Like somehow it was a deal between somebody. I mean, because you find out that like the United States is just constantly.
It's all a sham.
But also, like, he didn't discover the United States. He
No.
discovered a giant continent
Yeah.
Yeah.
that he was way off on his.
That he thought was India.
These fucking morons without maps drawing a map on a fucking ship while he's going. Like, yo, I think I went. Fucking. Like, you're stupid. You don't even know how to do a map. That's crazy, though. Could you imagine just getting on a boat and being like, I'm gonna go that way.
Well,
Are we going straight?
we're gonna try to go that way. The wind might say other
Are we going
things.
straight? I honestly don't know. The sun was over here, but it's set. But like that's the angle that it sets, and now
The
it's,
wind's
like, over
going right to
here.
left. I'm confused.
I don't know.
Just stay
Where's
away
the
from
North Star?
The
It's
Kraken.
daytime.
The crocodiles.
Crocodiles.
Crocodile.
Or overgrown octopus, octopi
Kraken.
that can eat you, and
Yeah.
krakens, and
That'd be sick.
all the stuff that's on the maps.
Why do we have
that's scary,
Kraken Day? That'd be cool.
Do you guys think Krakens are real?
No way. No. Fucking
Dude, you know how
way.
much the ocean we haven't.
So here,
Discovered?
like I think
They
that
don't
there's-
even know. They've never even seen like a
They-
giant
they-
squid alive, have they? They've only seen giant squid dead. They're fucking massive.
But it's very possible that like in the Mariana Trench, Mariana's Trench, or Mariana, whatever it
Yeah.
is.
Deepest
like,
point on Earth.
Yeah, like that. There are just things that actually, if they were exposed to light, could possibly die. But like, we can't. Nothing can go down there without being crushed to death.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, the pressure's
It's like, what if there are things? They even think that there are actual cities that are so deep in the ocean that, like, maybe that's where Atlantis went. You know, if you believe in that kind of stuff.
I don't know much of the Atlantis.
But like, you know, maybe that just it sunk so far, and it's, you know, to the point of essentially not being explorable. I mean, that's like one of the theories. But they find like ships that were on their way to carrying like tons and tons of Spanish gold. You know, and like $1 billion worth of gold just sitting there in the bottom of the ocean. That for many years people just went right by it.
Yep.
And then what's to say that there aren't things and creatures living down there that you just haven't seen? You know, like you've swam by them or boated over them, but there's just
some
so few
crazy
left.
shit lives at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, they've you know, they have all like the cool like drones or like the whatever that go down there. It's
They're called
crazy.
submarines.
I mean, those are like pretty big.
They have small ones.
Okay.
I think no, but I think that a documentary about a submarine or a drone,
Just about a submarine.
a dronerine that is going, that it just cruises the oceans, and you're just cutting different pieces of that together, right? And just like what it sees, right? Would be
Yeah.
really interesting to me. And you obviously cut the boring parts out, but like stuff that it cruises by,
Yeah.
like those Apple TV slideshows.
I'd watch that shit all day.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Have you seen you know, sometimes there's like a live feed of like the space station.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen those. They're cool.
I don't know if it's real, but I don't know why it wouldn't be real. But it's
Well,
pretty cool.
I mean, do we even go to the moon? Like,
I don't know. But also it's in like, I don't know, 80p.
yeah, it's not the greatest.
You know, it's
quality.
like, hey, here's
We-
space.
We can see some nebula 30 billion light years away, perfectly clear, but we can't see.
yeah.
right outside the
Sorry,
atmosphere.
YouTube does not support.
But just remember,
4K.
when we landed on the moon, it was a perfect broadcast.
Yeah, dude, when we had the we had this whole thing about like, if they faked the moon landing, why would they put cooler shit up there? They didn't put fucking anything up there if they faked it. Put an Arby's up there, bro.
Dude.
It's good mood food.
Yeah.
Get some branding opportunity, you know, no Pepsi cup. They could put like a McDonald's play place up there.
Dude, that'd have been
We're
it.
like,
We're
dude,
going back. You know that, right?
Are we?
Yeah, like, I mean, I know
That's
that,
fucking.
like,
This is America, dude.
I know China's going
We
back.
should name it the Christopher Columbus shuttle and be like, we discovered space.
Genghis Khan.
Yeah. Genghis Khan.
Well, there's already nothing there, so
But like, just think about why the moon.
why not? It seems like it's easy at this point.
Yeah, but like, why the?
It's just a quick
Are we
win.
back on the moon, man?
No, hold on, really quick.
Jordan hates the moon.
No, but I want to
fucking
know
hates the goddamn moon.
why would you colonize the thing that if you fuck that up will probably destroy Earth?
I don't think they're trying to colonize it. Are they?
Where are they coming from? They're coming from planet Earth. We're the master colonizers. That's all we do. Colonize and murder.
It's true.
We don't know how to do anything
We're
else.
very
But
good
there's
at those
nothing
two
to
things.
kill.
But I just wonder, like, what you do. Like, do you have? You can't. What do? You bring stuff there and you grow it in these, like, you know, domes or
Right.
whatever it is, and you have basically your
Terrariums.
Yeah, but aren't you like imitating like terra firma, like actual Earth, so you can grow this stuff?
Right.
Because nothing will probably grow on the surface of the moon.
Yes.
I think it seems like if they can get, I mean, I don't know how big the moon is compared to the Earth. I know it's smaller, right? But it's not like
Right.
Obviously, it's not like tiny though. But if they can get like something on the moon just to see if they could do it, right? Like just a trial. It's the closest thing they can do to like
Right.
try it.
Because then once you know, then you're like, okay, we can do this.
Then let's
elsewhere.
go to Pluto. It's the farthest one. Let's
Well,
just go.
Technically not a planet anymore.
But would you go? Would you?
To
I mean, would
Pluto?
you? No, like
Or to the moon.
you're someone that likes to travel, right?
Yeah.
What if you got like a fucking round trip
All expenses paid.
to the moon, and you know there's nothing there, right?
And I'm guaranteed safety.
Yeah.
I won't die.
right.
I would do it.
I would
So,
too.
did you hear what William Shatner said when he went up to space?
No.
You know, he recently like went up there.
Yeah.
He's like, I thought it was going to be the most beautiful thing ever.
And it's us, yeah.
And then he's like, but basically it felt like a funeral because,
Oh.
and I was like, oh, I never really thought of
Because
it.
he's so old?
Well, no, I never really thought of it like, because when you're going up into space, right? And now you're looking down at the only relationship you know.
Oh, what a gross feeling.
Oh yeah.
Like you're looking down at like, you made it to space, right? But you have nothing to relate to. In fact, you could go as far as to say you really don't belong. Because as far as you know,
Right.
the only thing that you can exist on,
You just left.
you just left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't exist in space. You will die. Even if you made it to another planet, fucking die. So you just left, and now you're looking back. It's almost like you're dead.
Yeah, that is pretty weird.
It's
to
really
think
strange
about.
to think about, to get up there and go like, oh wow, that's really all we have is that
That thing right
big
there.
Yeah.
that big thing down there. That's it. That's it. There's not anything. There's nothing. There's just that.
And as beautiful as it is, there's many things that can kill you on our planet.
Yep.
But
Australia's one
It's
of them.
ours.
but it's still where you would rather be, I think, versus out there in space.
Yep.
I don't know. I've always thought like how interesting it'd be, but when he put it in perspective, like he was so excited, but he was kind of like, I don't want to do that again. That was horrible. Like that seems emotionally unstabilizing or destabilizing.
While we're on the subject of space, I saw a clip, I think on Instagram, of this dude talking about space, like an ex-astronaut. So everybody's like, man, you go to space, you see all the coolest stuff, blah, 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 blah. Like, what would it be like to go to deep space? He's like, in all honesty, if you went to deep space, you would see nothing but black, not even stars, because it all depends on where the light is coming from. So you would most likely just look out the window and see black.
Like you're better off just finding a beach without any light.
When I saw that, I was like, "Oh, dude, that sucks." Like, could you imagine just being out there, just can't see shit?
There's a documentary on Netflix that I started today. I saw a clip on TikTok and it piqued my interest. It's called A Trip to Infinity, and it's about
And beyond.
no, but it's about like what is infinity, like the number.
No.
And is it real? And I got like 20 minutes in, and I'm like, I think I'm at that point where like I
peaked.
can't handle it. I just can't do it.
I've had the infinity discussion a bunch, and two things really bother me about it, and I can sum them up. One is math is completely made up for us to
That is exactly what I thought.
understand-
That's exactly what I thought. Yeah.
to understand our world, right? And then B, infinity, as we've made it up to understand infinity, is sort of like death seems better. Because death is essentially infinite nothingness. They seem the same. Except death is finite in a sense of like, the mortal coil kind of shit.
Right.
Infinity could very well be like a mysterious nothingness that you'll never get an answer to.
Yeah.
At least when someone's dead, they're not talking to you, they're not coming back.
Right.
But imagine just floating in space for infinity.
Yeah.
And if space really is infinite, like that means there is no end.
I don't like it.
No, but who does? Who the fuck likes that?
Yeah.
Like
Dude, it was a trip. I mean, I might finish it. It's only like an hour and 20 minutes.
that's
Because
deep,
there was a part, the part that got me was on TikTok. It was like, imagine there's a box. I think I maybe saved it. Maybe I'll fucking send it to you. But like, imagine there's a box and there's an apple inside of it, right? And it sits there and it rots inside this box, and the molecules turn into things, and like, he's obviously like hypothetical for billions and trillions and trillions and trillions of years. It's going to have energy. That energy has to go somewhere, but it can't. It's in the box.
It's in the box.
So it like has this energy and like will eventually form. It has to go somewhere, and like he's saying, like,
Is it gonna form back into another apple?
yes, it will form
What?
into everything that is ever possible in the universe, and then it will eventually form back into an apple. And then he goes, "What if we're in the box?" And I was like, "I'm done.
I'm done.
Fucking do it." So hopefully, I'll get to that part in the documentary. Maybe take an edible. I'll just be like, "Oh,
Yeah,
what the fuck is he talking about, dude?"
So that's actually super scary because I've heard something similar, and I never thought about that, the box, depiction, but that like we are just starting over. This has already happened. And we're just essentially recycling.
Sorry,
that scares
I can't
me.
get off the infinity thing. Speaking of Neil deGrasse Tyson, I saw a TikTok of him too, and he was talking about like how big numbers are and stuff. And he got, he had this whole crazy equation, and he's like, this number, right, whatever number he said, is so big, there are not enough particles in the universe to write out how big this number is. And there's not enough oh my God, dude, I can't even get my head around what he was saying. And he's also saying like there's an infinite amount of combinations, similar to the Apple thing. There's an infinite amount of combinations of particles in the universe to be made, and then like back again to write this number down, basically saying like us sitting here is one variation, and then me sitting over there and you sitting here is one variation, and that's like one universe. And you do that for every particle of the too much, way too much. I'll see if I can find it, because it's a fucking trip, because he explains it well enough to like really get to a place where you're like, I'm uncomfortable.
Obviously, I'm not like a science nerd, but I'm super interested in astrophysics.
Same.
As a
like a hobby.
Yeah, like just even like almost like until I can't understand it. But do you think there's a point, and this guy, like Neil is a smart guy, very smart. I mean, he's in his field, he's brilliant. However, do you ever feel like astrophysics gets to a point where then it just becomes conjecture?
Like nothing, basically.
Yeah, and almost
null,
because when you're talking about there's a number that is so big, there's not particles, and then you bring in infinity. Like infinity is a great way of saying, yeah.
I agree. The biggest takeaway from the little part that I watched was like, math is just made up. Like, what are they even arguing about?
Totally.
What is infinity? Well, what's bigger than infinity? What if you did infinity plus infinity? Then what is that? And it's like, this is just, again, let's just go back to pretend. You're just pretending. Like we're
all just pretending.
This version of whatever Earth we are on, we just happen to create math, and we all agree that like that's how it works. That 1 + 1 is 2. Like we made that up.
The good part is,
I can't.
It might be the one thing that we agree on.
Speaking of not doing math, one more thing before we get to Colts. I had a very embarrassing thing that happened to me at work. I was trying to do math written down. I got to subtraction, could not remember how to do subtraction. I swear to God, this is a shameless...
Shameful.
Shameful, yes. I was like, it's got to do something with carrying... Though I literally could not remember. I had to Google it. I Googled. I was like, how do I do subtraction? I felt so stupid, but I'm like, I don't remember the last time. When was the last time you wrote out like 356 minus 75? When was the last time you did something like that? And you wrote it out and you had to do it.
6th grade.
But to be fair, you were like in school. Like you've probably maybe you did it. The last time I took like a math class was high school.
Same.
I look at it like this.
Math stupid.
I'm all for technology. Like, basically, I would never. Some people are like, you shouldn't use a calculator. It's good to write stuff down and understand how math works. Okay.
Then why do we have calculators?
That makes sense. But that's almost like saying, you know what? Every now and then, I'm just gonna walk this piece of mail to fucking Egypt instead of emailing it, just to see what it's
giving
like.
it to Brendan Fraser?
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna walk it to the whale pharaoh and see what the fuck happens.
Now he's a pharaoh.
Whatever he is, fucking mummy, whale mummy.
I love it.
But that's like, once you invent the technology, no need to go back and see what it was like before.
Right.
That's a very human, right? To just be like, that's like that virtue signaling stuff where it's like, yep, well,
just to see.
Yeah, I did it. I was like, fucking great for you.
It's like
nobody else does.
I did it faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. At what point does like you trying to brag about the struggle of doing something you're just stupid and you don't know how to work smarter? Like you're just doing something the hard way just to do it, which is what I was doing, and I found out I was stupid, which is why I'm going to do things the easy way now. Because
it's like getting hit by.
Did you have access to a calculator?
Oh yeah, I was like, oh, this is like kind of cool. Like I could still do math.
No, I can't.
I felt real dumb. I felt really dumb, and I was like, am I really about to put in my Google search how to subtract?
Did you?
Basically, what happened was like I got the first one right. Like 9 minus 1 is 8. Great.
Great.
And then it was like
6. Oh, God.
exactly. I was like,
God.
Somebody knows how to do this. Somebody's figured this out, and it's not me. I don't remember how to do it. Then figured out you take it from the number
Take the
before.
one there, that
you take the
becomes
one,
that.
and then you do it, and you subtract, and you do the thing. Got it. I got it now. Trust me.
Do we need to have a pop quiz?
No, but remember multiplication tables? Remember, like, memorize your multiplication. Fuck that, dude.
Not even memorize. Like, here's 100 problems. They're all in different orders from last Tuesday when you did it. How fast can you do it? First one done wins.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
No, yeah, that doesn't need to be a race. Math and races, horrible combo.
Horrible.
Yeah. Only a sadist. would
There's no. You can't make a fourth grader feel more fucking stupid.
Yeah, and then there's always the one person that always finishes. You're like, fucking Johnny's gonna finish first, and I'm done. You're like, fuck you, dude.
be. Right.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
still
Meet me on the kickball field. Let's fucking go.
still on 8 times 8, bro. Okay, I don't know. 64.
Yeah, there you go.
16, right?
On that table.
Got it. I just
Madman.
picked one I knew. So I'm just trying to think of one that I don't know, but I don't know it, so it's not in my brain.
I mean, it's not
Any
a
of
fan.
the other ones.
Yeah,
There's people who genuinely like math, though, and like astrophysicists.
like the people in that stupid documentary.
They like math because it helps them.
People like the certainty of it.
Yeah, but it helps them explain. And I know that like you can get to a very finite answer using math, and like almost everything is solvable mathematically.
Except for infinity. Fucking
Yeah,
idiots.
right.
Can't even solve that, dude.
You know, when it comes to what like, you know, a measurement or everything is, you know, able to be solved. I don't like the idea that if you just were to extrapolate the like context of math,
Yeah.
it is just a human thing. That is it. That freaks me out.
Yeah.
Because if we crash land into another fucking planet,
Does math work there?
no, it can't.
It can't.
It's not.
That's what
Well,
I'm.
our math works there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but only it's a one-way conversation.
Right. It
I'm
works
with
in
you.
my
I'm
head.
with you. Math.
Then you become the mental patient
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah. When you're really just doing math.
Right.
Okay, we gotta
Maybe
get
all
to
of
the.
our mental patients over here are just doing their math from another world.
That's what it is.
That's
Yeah, they send here to do math, and they're like, I can't subtract. They're like, loony bin,
Yeah.
get this bitch out of here.